Hi guys, welcome back to TOEFL with Juva. I took the TOEFL to get admitted to the University of Oxford. My score was 115. It was a challenge. It was stressful. So today I will talk about all the things that they don't tell you about the TOEFL. Let's get started. We will begin with number 1. Knowing English is not enough. If your English is good and you just go to take the TOEFL thinking, my English is fine, I don't need to study, you will most probably not get a high score. Why is that? If you write and speak in the TOEFL as you would in everyday life, you most likely won't show your English language skills in the best light. You probably will use easier language because we do that in daily life. And here lies the problem. Think from the perspective of the examiner. The TOEFL examiners can only give you a high score if they see that you have great English language skills. This means that you must show them this, and you can show them by using a lot of different vocabulary, complex sentence structures such as if clauses or relative clauses, and complex grammar, for example, the past tense. How often do you use if clauses when talking in English? How often do you use linking words when writing a text? Presumably not that often, right? So before you take the TOEFL, you must be aware of that. Always remember that this is an English test and that you need to put your language skills in the best light possible. For this, you need to study so that you know what the examiners are looking for in your answer. Only then can you show off how great your English is. Number 2 is the vocabulary is extremely difficult. The TOEFL uses really hard vocabulary, especially in TOEFL reading. When I took the TOEFL and saw all the difficult words in the first reading passage, my first thought was, I'm never going to finish on time. This is way too difficult to do in just a few minutes. Spoiler, I did finish on time, although I made a huge mistake in the end. If you want to know what happened, check out my video about all the mistakes I made in the TOEFL. You can find the link in the description below. I'm not gonna lie, the vocabulary in TOEFL reading is really hard. But the good news is that there are ways to deal with it. Even if you don't understand everything, you can definitely get a high score. And this brings us to the next point. Strategy is key. In the TOEFL, having the right strategy determines a huge part of your score. Especially in TOEFL reading, you need the right strategy to find the correct answers and to finish on time. If you read the passage as you normally read from top to bottom, you lose. You only have a very limited time frame to find the correct answers. You don't have time to read the whole passage. Therefore, you must use the right strategies to find the correct answers fast. If you want to know which strategies you can use to improve your TOEFL reading score, check out my videos about that. The links are in the description. In particular, if you want to practice with TOEFL reading tests, have a look at my videos where I solve TOEFL reading practice tests. In these videos, you learn how to find the correct answers fast without wasting time. The links are also in the description. Always remember that you don't need to understand every word to be successful. You also don't need to read the whole passage. If you use the right strategies, you can boost your score immensely. Do you find this video helpful so far? If yes, you can help me too. Click the like button now so that other people know that this video will help them prepare for the TOEFL. Let's move on to number 4. The tasks are always the same. Guys, once you realize this, the TOEFL becomes so much easier. The tasks in the TOEFL are predictable. If you have a look at practice tests, you know exactly what to expect. There are no surprises. You must use this to your advantage by preparing everything that you can prepare in advance so that you have it ready when you take your TOEFL. Have a look at the question types that are asked in TOEFL reading. Once you understand what they're about, you can solve them correctly. Memorize templates for TOEFL speaking and TOEFL writing, because then you will have all sentence starters for your answers in your head when you take the TOEFL, which saves you a ton of time and boosts your score. If you prepare all that, you will have a head start when taking the test. Number 5 is the TOEFL is exhausting. Honestly, guys, when I took the TOEFL, I was really exhausted afterwards. The TOEFL is extremely demanding because you need to focus for 4 hours and do your best to get a high score. That's really hard. Be aware of that before you take the test. Make sure that you get enough sleep before the test so that you are well rested. You need all your concentration and mental strength in these 4 hours. Finally, we will end with number 6. You don't only study for the TOEFL. What do I mean by that? When I prepared for the TOEFL, I believed that I only studied to get the TOEFL score I need. That's wrong. You don't only study for the TOEFL. Actually, I'm still using what I learned when studying for the TOEFL. For example, I study law at the University of Oxford, and I need to write a lot of essays. When I write an essay for university, I use the same structure as in my TOEFL essay. I use the same linking words, the same sentence structures, and so on. Using the vocabulary and grammar that I learned when studying for the TOEFL has helped me immensely. One of my university tutors once commented on my essay that my essay was well structured. You know where I learned that? In the TOEFL. I know that now for you, the most important thing is to get the score you need. It was the same for me. But when you were studying, remember that what you learn now will help you in the future. The TOEFL gives you more than just a score. It will make things a lot easier for you because you can take what you learn with you and use it. That's why it's important to take this seriously and push yourself. That's it. This is what they don't tell you about the TOEFL. I hope this video was helpful to you guys. If you have any questions or a video wish, comment below and I would love to see you next time. Bye bye.